On the night of the 2020 NBA Draft, after years of draft night disappointment, the Sixers managed a draft success that would transcend their every failure.
Tyrese Maxey! What can't this kid do? This would be a heck of a win for the Sixers. Tyrese!
You know, when it's time to make big shots, I'm gonna try to make some big shots.
A lot taller than Tyrese is, but that doesn't seem to matter at all. Get that nonsense out of here.
If the first words out of my mouth are Tyrese Maxey tomorrow morning, I think the Sixers have a chance to win, because that means he had a special night.
What have you learned from the time you've spent playing with Rajon Rondo and the like?
I learned so much from Rondo. I really appreciate him, man. He took the time out of his day every single morning to teach me the tricks of the trade. I thank Philadelphia for this opportunity, and I promise you it won't be a regret.
Congratulations, Tyrese. Thank you so much for joining us. Reese, back to you.
In just the 10th game of Tyrese's rookie season, in his first ever NBA start, he managed to pour in 39 points. Most of the team was barred from playing that night, but in a game where his teammates shot 36% and his second leading scorer notched only 13 points, Maxey was an impressive 18 for 33 from the field, an early sign of things to come.
He can play another one, I'm convinced, as he drills another one. Give him 39.
Still bouncy.
Hello, Tyrese from Puerto Rico. You're the first rookie since Allen Iverson to score at least 35 points in a game. How does it feel to make history in your first NBA start?
If he can't contribute. How about the explosion of Maxey, the 21st pick in the draft?
After receiving limited playing time throughout most of the year, Maxey played with reckless abandon in a must-win playoff game against the Hawks. His 29 minutes of floor time in this elimination game was the most run he had seen in weeks. But he was ever ready for the moment, displaying flashes of game-breaking quickness, as well as poise beyond his years. The next day, there was no shortage of people ranting and raving that the young rookie was the deciding factor in the game.
Fouls early on in that first half. Maxey, 4-3. How about this kid? The rookie out of Kentucky, late first-round pick. He played 1 minute in Game 5.
Maxey finished his rookie year averaging 8 points per game on 46% from the field and 30% from three. On the surface, he was your classic 21st pick. His minutes waxed and waned. His three-point shot came and went. He was a young guy who came in with a stellar burst and a nice little mid-range game, primed to fight for more consistent floor time next year. Yet Maxey caught people's attention in a big way, because if you paid close attention, you saw that he was equipped for far more than just a specific role. Of course the 20-year-old came in with energy and a youthful exuberance, but far more than just enthusiasm. Maxey had a certain presence to him, an aura that couldn't be denied. Tyrese Maxey was about to do the unthinkable.
Well, he's the most impressive young player I've ever had in 21 years of coaching. So that's how impressive he is. His work ethic, Vince, is beyond belief. Many times already this summer, at least 2 or 3 times, we've had to tell him to go sit down somewhere and go relax.
You said last year that you were going to work out every day, every morning, and I don't know if I believed you, but you're really, really doing it.
If I'm not finding a way to get better, then I feel like I'm getting worse. And for me to be the best I can be for this team, I have to keep getting better every single day. So, and I really do mean it when I say I want to get 1% better every single day. And in the summertime, and I think I took it to another level. And I was working out multiple times a day, early in the morning, 6 a.m. My thing about the 6 a.m. thing is psychological. Like, I feel like if I'm getting up before, everybody else while they're still sleeping, psychologically, it does something to my confidence. So.
I guess like Roz, he went on a vacation. The difference, Roz, is this is the first vacation he'd ever been on in his life. And I was like, wait, what? He said, no, I've never been on vacation. But that's him, that really is him. And last week he's back now in LA working out. And first thing he said is, vacation's too long, coach. Can't do it that long. And I'm thinking, man, I love this guy. Every day, every time he talks.
Man, he shows up. It doesn't matter if he's a back-to-back or not. He's going to show up the next day at 8 in the morning. He's going to come in at night and get some work in. So he's the hardest worker I've ever been around. What do you say? 1%? 1% better?
1% better.
There you go, every single day.
Tell everybody, the work you put in when no one's around always comes to light when you're playing in front of thousands. So that's really it. My dad told me that one day when we were in the gym, probably early morning, working out, and it was dark. Dark gym, and nobody was there but me and him. And I probably wasn't going as hard as his liking. And he told me, dude, this is when people are made, when no one's in the gym.
Maxey driving through the lane, got fouled and coming in. This guy can't miss right now.
Maxey with a tough sidestep three. Oh, stop.
So we had a Danny said I couldn't shoot. So Danny said I couldn't shoot threes. So, every time I went to the gym this summer, I had to make sure that I came back this year to let Danny know that I could shoot. And one of our teammates said, he was like, Tyrese, what would you do with Kobe White's minutes? And if you was in the same situation. And I was like, I think I averaged 20.
Maxey went from being a 30% three-point shooter in year 1 to a 43% shooter in year 2. Doc Rivers had previously said that they always viewed Maxey as a shooter. Regardless of the numbers, they believed in his shot from the start.
Maxey has already hit a career-best 6 threes. He's hit 7.
Only 2 other players have shown this level of three-point improvement from year 1 to year 2. Kevin Durant and Rasul Butler. So you can understand why people question if Maxey can sustain the shooting display he put forth last season. But if you pay close attention to the kinds of shots he is making and the level of work he puts in at the gym, it would be difficult to envision him as anything other than an elite perimeter threat in the years to come.
Maxey rises and sticks it.
And you can see tonight, Maxey is a major winner. Oh, deep three! Of course!
Of the NBA's top 25 scorers who played 40 games or more this past season, only DeMar DeRozan, CJ McCollum, and Luka Doncic shared one significant distinction with Maxey. We'll get to more on that in a moment, but first let's address the elephant in the room. Maxey is the player the Sixers have been missing for years. Quick and athletic with a nose for the rim, and now he's completed the package with his three-point shot, something Ben Simmons was never able to do. Now, in fairness to Simmons, Maxey wasn't faced with the same level of expectations. This serves as no excuse, but it's worth a mention because even entering his third year, he's not expected to have the same level of responsibility as Harden or Embiid. And this leaves him with a golden opportunity to play freely and to expand his game with the kind of relaxed state of mind that many players will never experience. He might just shatter every concept we have of him as a player once again.
He just doesn't play with anxiety. That's why you love him. There's certain players like that. There's not a lot that ruffles him.
Maxey, you bet. Zips in off one leg. Why not? Maxey again. Maxey is feeling it.
Maxey, is he feeling it? He is. That's a three. Maxey gets an open look. And a three. Kicks Maxey from that same spot. Got another. Worked it around. Maxey pull up. Yes. Tyrese Maxey. Another clutch bucket.
The statistical marker that Maxey shared with DeRozan, McCollum, and Doncic last season had to do with fourth quarter shooting. DeRozan, McCollum, and Doncic were the only three players out of the league's top scorers who shot a better percentage from three in the fourth than they did in the first three quarters.
DeRozan to win it! Goal!
But here's the crazy part. Their numbers don't come close to Maxey's fourth quarter shooting splits. We see these trends even dating back to his rookie year, when he shot 10% better in the fourth. And once Harden joined the team, Maxey jumped to 58% from three in the fourth quarter.
Maxey into the lane, the floater is true. 1 point game, Tyrese with the takeaway. It's a foot race, Maxey with the finish. Tyrese Maxey. Maxey wants to push it to 8. Tyrese. Oh my goodness!
You're not shook in these moments. Some young guys might not take shots in certain situations, but you're not, right? Where does that come from?
Confidence, work ethic, grinding when there's nobody in the stands. Early 6 a.m. workouts when nobody's around, nobody's watching. I always say it helps you perform when you're in front of thousands, and then now I guess millions is watching TV. So, when it's time to make big shots, I'm gonna try to make some big shots.
Philadelphia give themselves a chance down the stretch. Maxey, boy, he is fearless.
Maxey's composure isn't only visible in statistics. It's palpable in every way. It's in his body language and his overall demeanor. It's in his willingness to take on the moment and create shots for himself with or without Embiid and Harden. But just for the hell of it, let's revisit those fourth quarter stats one more time. You simply aren't going to find many players whose shooting numbers look like this in nearly every context. Not even amongst superstars, and not even amongst guys who are given room to launch from the perimeter on a regular basis. Maxey's willingness to put in the work is definitely a big reason for his fourth quarter success. But looking at his astounding fourth quarter numbers, I couldn't help but wonder if there was something else that was contributing to his late game poise. And I think I found my answer. The media circus that surrounds NBA players, by its very nature, is excellent at manufacturing pressure. Not only does the fame and attention bring a mental burden into players' lives, but star players are incentivized to bring added pressure on themselves while answering questions about who is better than who and who deserves credit for what. And no matter how much media training they may receive, it seems that most players will occasionally take a reporter's bait if questioned at the right time. Whether it's a declaration of superiority or a promise of a future championship, engaging with the media on this level is always counterproductive. But this is something that simply isn't in Maxey's DNA. Here's a clip of Curry's initial reaction to his fourth championship, followed by Maxey's response after a career night versus Miami.
Steph, what does just this mean to you to finally be a finals MVP for everything?
Forget that, we champs. Why are you starting with that question? We got 4 championships.
What was it like to hear Maxey chants from the crowd?
Man, Philly is it's different. It's different. But I mean, I can't take any of this credit. Like, I'm just looking at the stats right here, and guys like Shake and Furt, you know, and Paul Millsap. Paul Millsap started tonight. I don't think he played in the last 10 games. Furt hasn't played much, but for those guys to stay ready and come in and play 31, 27 minutes, it's just a testimony to our group.
In a league that seems to get more athletic by the day, Maxey's speed puts him in an elite category. His pace alone makes him a rim threat, with or without the various maneuvers that he has at his disposal.
With the loose ball, Tyrese Maxey! Oh my goodness!
He's the fastest guy out there by a mile, right? I mean, he is super fast. Usually with those kind of guys, that's their whole game, and it's not with him. I mean, he is a really good shooter with great touch. That makes you really hard to guard when you got to get to a challenge shot, and if you're a little late and he decides not to shoot it, he's just going to kind of catch it on the run and be in the paint.
Maxey's burst off the catch is so unique that he can take a simple catch-and-shoot opportunity and turn it into transition-style offense from within the half-court setting. Beyond just his straight-line speed, you can see how insanely fluid his dribble drive game is. He's truly comfortable hoisting a shot at any point during his drive, always leaving defenders unsure of when he's going to shoot the ball. Unlike many players gifted with elite quickness, he's content pacing himself and finishing from any angle. Even in the rare case that a defender sees exactly what's coming, he can continue to launch the same attack over and over again, simply daring the help defense to even try and do something about it.
Maxey trying to make it happen. Oh, he's got those beautiful scoop layup attempts.
When working from the mid-range, it's almost like he has an agreement with gravity. No contact is unwelcome, and no incline is too unforgiving. It's Maxey's world, and defenders, well, they're just living in it.
Penetration there by Hill.
Maxey gets an and one on the other end and a chance at a three-point play.
At his young age, he seems to have mastered every up and under and every reverse, every finger roll, every flip, and every flick, floater, and leaner.
Maxey turns the corner, the floater goes.
Randall comes over. Game's not over. The game's still going on. What's he going to say to Calipari? He leans into his ear and goes, Maxey's bleeping good.
Tyrese Maxey, he has emerged as a legitimate star. He's a phenomenal basketball player and fun to watch. And he does a little bit of everything. Half court, full court, in transition. Love watching him score the basketball.
It's clear that Maxey is a pick-your-poison type of basketball player, if there ever was one. As a defender, you don't really have a weak area available to expose in his game. He's just as prepared to attack with patience as he is with pace. He's more than capable from the perimeter, and he feels quite at home in the paint. With the variety he has in his offense, he has the ability to take over a game at any point in time, as he did here against the Bucks with a personal 12-0 run.
Jump shot. Maxey has taken over. Tyrese Maxey.
Many people are quick to attribute Maxey's scoring bursts to the attention that Harden and Embiid command from the defense. Of course there's something to this, or else Maxey would not have shot a ludicrous 58% from 3 in the fourth quarter since James Harden's arrival. However, everyone should understand that Maxey's scoring punch is not nearly as situational as you might expect. In the last 12 games he played without either Harden or Embiid suiting up to play, Maxey put up 25.5 points per game on 53% shooting. These 12 games included matchups against the Bucks, Raptors, Nuggets, Warriors, and Heat, as well as 2 games against the Grizzlies. And out of these 12 games, his 4 highest scoring outputs came against the Bucks, Grizzlies, Raptors, and Heat, all teams who you would expect to fare well defensively, while pitted against Maxey in a lead offensive role. He put up 31, 33, 28, and 33 points in these matchups, shooting a collective 57% from the field. This is not just a matter of volume scoring as a result of being the next man up. The efficiency is off the charts, even while having defenses keyed in on him. As per usual, Maxey shines brightest when his team needs him the most. These numbers may come as a surprise to some, but they make absolute sense when you take a step back and consider the player that the 21-year-old has become. It's rare that you find someone who seemingly has no weak spot on offense. When he poured in 28 against the Grizzlies, he had the opposing broadcaster suggesting the Grizzlies should start going under screens in the pick and roll. They wanted to go under screens against the 3rd best three-point shooter in the league this past season. The crazy part about it was that they came up with this idea not because of Maxey's speed or finishing ability, but because of how dastardly he is from the mid-range.
Danny Green has been dealing with left hamstring tightness. He did play last night. Maxey partially blocked. It doesn't matter. Everything is going down for Tyrese Maxey.
Hey Tyrese, Doc told us that at one point during the season you actually graded out as one of the worst defenders on this team, and now over the last month you've really progressed in that area, and he said that's what kind of excites him. Well, listen, he complimented you a lot too, but he said that you improved most in that area, and that's what he's most excited about.
Although Maxey hasn't graded out as a stellar defender through his first 2 seasons, he has shown improvement, and he definitely has all of the tools to make things happen on the defensive end. The quickness is there, the athleticism is there, and the strength is coming along. And most importantly, he has a willingness to defend and the genuine desire to improve and to win.
Great timing from Tucker on the steal. Maxey catches up with it though, able to save it over his head.
One of the crucial things to note about Maxey's defensive game is that when an opponent gets a step on him by way of a screen or an up fake, he has shown at times a remarkable ability to recover.
Keep pursuing. Coach Dan Burke has really been on me about not dying on screens. And, of course, he always brings up Teese, when he talks about defense. And he says, watch Teese. Every time Teese gets hit with a screen, or every time he just keeps pursuing, and he's always getting the rear view blocks or just rear view challenges.
Curry blocked by Thibault, and he gets the rebound as well.
Maxey clearly puts these lessons to good use, including in this game where he read Desmond Bane quite well, and also came up with a huge block in, you guessed it, the waning moments of the fourth quarter. Now I want you to watch these 3 defensive plays closely, not once, but twice. At first glance they look like good teamwork, but make no mistake, Maxey came up with the block on each of these plays. This is different than the way that oftentimes Maxey and Thibault will defend the dribble drive from behind, because not only have they developed a unique skill for rear view blocks, but they can avoid getting in Embiid's way while providing supplemental defense from another angle. So what else can we take away from this? Well, what I've found is that in his last 16 games without Embiid, Maxey averages 1 block per 36 minutes. Matisse Thybulle and Patrick Beverley were the only guards to average a block per 36 minutes in the NBA this past season. While it's a small sample size, it's a far cry from Maxey's less than half a block per 36 minutes with Embiid on the court. So this would seem to indicate that his defense moves up a notch when Embiid is not around to protect the rim.
Watch this, right arm, right on the ball. We are going the other way.
After all that we've discussed, is there even a need to mention Maxey's work ethic yet again? In all honesty, probably not.
To the touch! I'm in the house! I'm in the house! To the touch! To the touch! Hey, switch up! Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Go, I got it. Don't worry about it. Ah!
And on a side note, Maxey's not a turnstile in transition, which in and of itself is kind of a rare sight to see in today's NBA. Now listen, none of this is to say that the Maxey that stands before us today is some absolute stud of a defender. But to say that he's destined to be nothing more than a defensive liability would be selling him quite a bit short.
Foul to give. Into Harris, then it's tipped away. Martin, blocked by Tyrese Maxey! What can't this kid do?
Hey, Tyrese, you were trash for 11.
Let's talk about last time you was here.
I know, you look like me like 2 years ago when I was with 0 points. You were terrible.
I airballed twice. Mr. Embiid. Now, today, last time out, I think I shot 11 shots. And I probably missed 10. So today, I shot the 3.
You were great.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I appreciate it.
That's how you respond to criticism.
Oh, man. I told you I got you.
No, sir.
We got a problem, bro? Yeah, let's make sure. We can stop this media. We can. Oh, okay. What about talk to you?
Honestly, Reese's energy, Tyrese's energy, is so contagious. And it's something that you don't really talk about. It won't show up in a box score, and like most people never really notice it, but like, you see the kid smiling and laughing every day. And I mean, he's got one of the hardest jobs on the court, being a point guard, trying to like quarterback the whole court, the whole gym. And Doc doesn't take it easy on him, and he's able to take this challenge and show up day in and day out with one of the best attitudes on the team. And I think that consistency is a really big deal for, I mean, even guys older than him, just to be around that energy and have it rub off on everyone on a daily basis.
He's like the perfect player, man. You know, just he has a game, right? And he works his butt off. Like, so, I mean, I try to help him when I need to, but, you know, he listens. We got great coaches. We got other great leaders. And, I mean, he gets it, man. He understands it. He put the work in, and great things happen for you. And tonight, you know, was a testament to that. So
it looks like the joy that he's bringing to the team,
for sure,
has helped out, or is a part of his role.
A big part of it, and that's him being a great young point guard that he is. And you see Tyrese bouncing up and down the court, running around, smiling. It brings you back to the purity of the game and realizing things are gonna be okay. It's just gonna be cool. And Tyrese's gonna look out. Usually he's the one that probably find me in the corner. He'll get Tobias a play. And he's got, even though he's still figuring it out, he's done a great job of keeping everybody even keel and balanced.
Like I said earlier, like the gravity of him is drawing people over, and people are so scared. Oh my God.
Yeah, you messed up mine, and you gonna mess up yours.
Did you go and find him just for this? This is ridiculous. What kind of operation are we running here?
Yes, he's a great defender. Yeah, you know, he's really good. You know, I'm really proud of him. I told him to shoot that 3 in the corner, he made it. So
go home. Go get these work. I have no words. That's all I got.
Yeah, Tyrese is ready.
Blue! Hey, 1 through 5. 1 through 5. 1 through 5.
Matisse said that most people will never notice Maxey's energy. But of course people notice it, and it's widely talked about. So what is he really saying here? Well, you could easily make the case that most fans and most media members don't realize just how far a simple morale boost can carry an NBA basketball team. And Tyrese brings those in spades.
You do good.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
So just how good can Tyrese really be? Surely there are clues in what other players have done. By the time Kawhi was earning over 30 minutes a night in his second year in the league, he was averaging fewer than 12 points per game. Very few people realized what he would become. He didn't average 20 until year 5, and continued to reach new highs until he averaged 27 in year 9. And of course, this is a common pattern we see all around the NBA. Guys like Paul George, James Harden, Jimmy Butler, and even the likes of Stephen Curry, along with many others. These are all players who entered the league as a certain type of a player and reached their prime as something completely different. Something which exceeded the wildest imagination of most scouts, coaches, and executives. So what exactly am I saying here? Are you meant to believe that Tyrese Maxey is the next Steph Curry? Well, no, that of course is not the idea that we're getting at. What you should understand, however, is that Maxey is armed with an absolute definiteness of purpose, and a complete disregard for what's possible and what's not. In terms of these particular attributes, he is outshined by no one. And although from an observer's perspective, basketball is a game of physical feats, NBA success is ultimately determined in the mental plane, rather than in the physical world we see before us. And so how about a projection? I've asked how good Maxey can really become, and what answer do I have for you? Well, to put it simply, I would say this. It's not a question of if Maxey will become an all-star, as many would lead you to believe up to this point. It's only a matter of when. He is not a player who will find himself teetering on the edge of all-star status 5 years from now. He will enter that territory confidently and decidedly, without a question to be asked about his status as an all-star in this league. And how far beyond that point he is able to reach, only time will tell. But there is no ceiling on what this guy can accomplish.
This crowd loves number 0, Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese, I love you! Love you too!
How did you catch that? I don't know.
Clap your hands, everybody. Y'all know the song? Y'all want to sing?